Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? We're back with another Call of Duty Mobile video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. We are getting close to the end of Season 2, and there's some really big balance changes that are coming up soon that are going to make aggressive weapons even better than they are now, especially with some of the nerfs that are coming to snipers and to assault rifles. There's some aggressive weapons that are definitely going to dominate. So today, we're going to be going through the top 5 aggressive weapons in Call of Duty Mobile. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please do me a huge favor. Drop a like down below, subscribe to the squad if you haven't already, and we are going to go ahead and hop into the action. Coming in at number 5, this is not a gun that I personally used a whole lot, or really that you see used at all in the North American competitive scene, but in Garena, this is pretty much the go-to for aggressive players, and that is the KRM. The primary reason that Garena players, at least from what I can understand, use the KRM is because they do not like ADSing, and the KRM is the best shotgun when it comes to hip firing. Obviously, this is not going to be a super easy gun to use because you got to be accurate with your shots, and basically once you don't one-tap somebody, you're automatically going to be at a disadvantage against an AR or an SMG, but because you do have the ability to one-tap somebody if you are super accurate and your movement is really good, the KRM is a fantastic option. This is a build that I've used that has a nice little combination of both hipfire and ADS bullet spread. I know one thing that some people tend to swap out is the granulated grip tape for something like speed up after kill. For me personally, the speed up after kill doesn't feel like it has that big of an impact in the granulated grip tape because I like to ADS my shotguns, works really well, so I threw it on there, but this is definitely a really good top 5 option. Coming in at number 4, we do have the DRH, so this is going to be the only assault rifle on this list. And some people will question it because people are like, oh, the DRH can't shoot straight. It's primarily because it doesn't have great ADS bullet spread that the DRH makes for a really good aggressive gun. If you're able to land your upper body shots, it actually kills faster than just about any SMG in the game because it is a 3-tab. So when you're building out the DRH, especially as an aggressive player, you don't have to focus quite as much on your ADS bullet spread because you're primarily trying to take those gunfights in between 0 and 10 to 15 meters. The DRH has a lot of really good attachments that can make it very versatile, so you can build it out more for the mid-range, or even if you really want to, the long range, but it definitely shines at its most in the mid to close range. It's a much better option than the ASM-10 or the Man-O-War because it has faster ADS time, and because it doesn't have a whole lot of recoil, you don't really have to worry all that much about controlling it. All you got to do is make sure you aim for the upper body. This is definitely one of the most used competitive guns, especially in North American competitive play, and pretty much anytime it's not banned, you'll see it in play a pretty good amount. Because of the nerf to the no stock attachment, I actually do like running the MIP strike stock on it, and this is honestly not a great aggressive build because your ADS time isn't going to be crazy fast on this, but if you want to take off the granulated grip tape, even though I typically prefer not to use stippled, especially if you're going to play super aggressive with it, the MIP strike stock can counter out some of the loss of ADS bullet spread, plus you got the OWC tac laser on to help as well. Coming in at number 3, we've got the Fennec. So those of you who watch my Bobby Reacts channel probably saw that we actually have a new kill record for Mobile Mayhem where somebody dropped 58 kills with the Fennec, actually using a red dot on it, which was pretty surprising to me, but it's a gun that I've started to see more and more pop up, and for a lot of really good reasons. Number 1, even though it seems kind of crazy, the recoil isn't that difficult to control because it has very, very predictable recoil. It starts going vertical and then slightly up and to the right toward the end of the spray. Number 2, because it has crazy high rate of fire, if you are accurate in hitting your shots, it has the potential to be one of the fastest killing guns of the game. Especially when combining it with things like the monolithic suppressor or a range extending barrel, this thing can actually work in the mid-range too. But for those of you who like to play really aggressive, there's some options where you can build this out to be an absolute monster, both in regards to ADS time, mobility, and time to kill. It's more versatile than a lot of people give it credit for, and because of some of the nerfs coming in on ARs and some of the buffs to SMGs, this is definitely going to be one of the top up-and-coming guns. Those of you who want to try out the kill record build can go ahead and give this one a try. So this is one that actually does make it viable in the mid-range. Obviously, you're not going to have crazy fast ADS time because of that light extended barrel and the monolithic suppressor, but overall, it already has crazy fast ADS time, so you're not really losing out on a whole lot. And if you wanted to, you could throw on something like a no stock to make it ADS even faster if you don't want to run the red dot. Coming in at number 2, super fun gun to use and one that I have loved for a while, the Quexer or the QXR. In my opinion, the QXR is basically a slightly downgraded version of our #1 option on the aggressive guns list, but it's another one of those guns that's very versatile because you can build it out so many different ways. Obviously, the enhanced bolt attachment is a must-have because it increases the rate of fire and ultimately makes it so that it is actually viable at close range. The gun can kill very, very quickly up close. It has a really big base magazine size, so you don't have to worry as much about running out of ammo, which means you can take on more than 2 or 3 enemies at a time. And if your recoil control is really good, it can be viable at mid-range too. For a lot of people, it is going to come down to whether or not they want it to be viable at that mid-range, because if you want to, this can have crazy mobility just like the Fennec. It's super reliable for pretty much any map that you want to use it on, especially if you have the right playstyle. And like I said, with the nerfs to snipers and assault rifles coming to the game, this is going to be one of the best options. I like this build because it has a nice combination of ADS bullet spread, range extension, recoil control, and at the same time a little bit of extra mobility because the no stock attachment has not been nerfed for SMGs, makes it really, really good for the QXR. Like I said, the enhanced bolt is an absolute must-have, and to be honest, OWC Tac Laser pretty much is too. So if you want a nice close to mid-range build for the QXR, this is definitely the one to go to. Next up in first, I don't think it's going to be a surprise to really anybody, is going to be the QQ9. This is a gun that was already really good coming into the season. You didn't see it used a whole lot in competitive, but in the mini balance changes that we saw recently, the gun got a buff to its mobility, to its range, to its recoil, to its hip fire. They pretty much buffed everything except for the actual damage stats on the gun, and anybody who's played Legendary Ranked at this point will tell you it's probably the most common gun you're going to see, because with the buff to the gun's accuracy, you can now laser beam people from across the map with it. At the same time, it kills ridiculously fast up close, and even if you don't have really good ADS time attachments on it, it still has one of the best ADS times of any SMG in the game. Combine all that with the fact that they buffed the hip fire on it too, you have one of the most broken guns that we've had in a while, but I'm not complaining. We've been in an assault rifle meta for, what, 6-7 seasons now, and I will gladly accept a broken SMG for a while just to give myself a little bit of a break from the ARs. If you're gonna go for an aggressive build, I definitely would not recommend the 10mm reload because it slows down the rate of fire on the gun and inherently makes the time to kill slower. All it really does is extend the range a little bit, and with a reduction in 15 bullets a magazine, it's not really worth it. This build will allow you to beam from pretty much anywhere, while at the same time having the ADS time needed to absolutely destroy people at close range. No question, the QQ9 is the best gun in the game and my favorite gun for Season 2, so definitely make sure that you guys try this one out. But that is going to be it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please do me a huge favor. Make sure to drop a like down below. Subscribe to the squad if you guys haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.